thank you for joining me. We've got a storm low pressure that's going to be moving in late Friday night into Saturday that could bring some very interesting weather to western North Carolina. Let's turn around and I'll show you my screen. We're looking at the most recent NAM 3KM model. I'll show you. We'll run it out. This model shows precipitation moving in, this early tongue of precipitation that kind of pushes out in front of that weak low pressure. And it kind of shows it. You can see the timestamp Saturday, early Saturday morning. And it shows it as rain. I checked the surface temperatures on this. Surface temperatures are right around freezing. Sometimes this model's a little bit low with surface temperatures. So this is a tough call. Upper level temperatures look to be above freezing, 2 degrees Celsius at the 850 millibar around Asheville. So if anything, this could be some sleet or freezing rain, maybe some mixed in flurries. But until we get a little bit closer, and we'll do another update tomorrow evening for app users and let you know what to expect. I'm going to start doing these on a regular basis, if not nightly, every other night, even when we're not having super active weather, just to keep you guys informed. So let's run this on out. Some clearing Saturday morning. Check the timestamp there. As that tongue of precipitation pushes on out, that's just round number 1. Precipitation builds back in. Temperatures right now are in the upper 30s according to this model. So that is conducive for rainfall. So I'll show you in a minute what was causing some models to show snow. We have the low pressure that was tracking much farther south, was what some models were showing earlier. That doesn't appear to be the case. It appears to come right across central Alabama, which is not really the best snow track for western North Carolina. But as I run this out, you can see that that pink begins to show up late Saturday and into Sunday. Some of this model doesn't go all the way out, but the most recent NAM model shows some heavier precipitation, some heavier sleet developing here and pushing into Buncombe County into Sunday morning. Tough call here with this, just many rounds of storms, and I'm going to run the temperatures through. You can see Saturday when that precipitation is moving in, 31 degrees at the surface is what it's showing. Warmer down towards Franklin, Andrews, Murphy, so Silva, expecting more rainfall there compared to freezing rain. But you can see Saturday morning, 29 degrees, but as we progress through the day, temperatures will build up to the mid to upper 30s, and then they'll fall back down as the sun sets and that heavier precipitation moves in, which I think will fall in the form of sleet or freezing rain. It's really a tough call. I don't know that cold air wedge is going to be strong enough and push down enough for snow in West North Carolina. Boone is a different story. If you live in Avery, if you live in Watauga County, that cold air does appear to make it that far down. So Mitchell, you're on the borderline there, and Yancey will also be on the borderline with that cold air. That high is a weird orientation, and I'm not exactly sure how far the CAD's going to get down in there. That cold air damming will reach down in here, but you can see as those temperatures, these temperatures up here are much cooler than down here, and that's just that cold air signature along that Blue Ridge escarpment. So here's so that's the short range NAM. It doesn't run out throughout the whole system. So I'll show you. We'll run this through. Here's your low pressure developing coming out of the Rockies and snow in Denver. And your high pressure develops up here. That Great Lakes low kind of throws a wrench into getting that cold air out in front very efficiently. But it is one of those, it's one of those things that does come into play and has to be taken into consideration. So that low pressure moves into Texas. Big time snowstorm across the Midwest here. St. Louis looking at their biggest snowstorm in 5 years, I believe. So big time snowstorm here. Some models had this low pressure much farther down south, which was pushing that tongue of precipitation into western North Carolina a little bit quicker, and that cold air is entrenched. So those models have backed off of that and have since. You can see that really strong high pressure, though. A lot of times our strong CAD high pressures develop down here over the Great Lakes, New York, and this is kind of a weird orientation. That cold air funnels around clockwise and sends it down into the Blue Ridge Mountains. And so it's easier for it to get to Asheville if the high pressure is here compared to here. But we'll run this out, and it moves in tandem. If it was a little bit farther in front, we'd have a little bit colder air entrenched, in my opinion. But this model shows ice moving into Sunday morning. A brief period of ice for about 6 to 12 hours, and then some clearing Saturday or Sunday evening, and then some backside redevelopment, which is going to be really difficult to forecast and really difficult to model. That is where I believe we could see a little bit of accumulating snowfall, but still a really tough call, in my opinion, and will need to be monitored as we move forward into the weekend. That will be into Monday morning and Tuesday. So let's show you what the GFS showed. An ice storm here on the beginning Sunday morning. It puts out a little bit of snowfall around Andrews, Murphy, Macon County, Bryson City. So, and the European does this too. So it's kind of an interesting situation with this front end tongue of precipitation. Could see a dusting to an inch there as well. Like I said, though, it makes it really difficult to forecast when temperatures fluctuate like this. Here's the European model, same, showing that snowfall on the onset around midnight, 2-3 a.m. and then pushes on out. And I'll show you as we progress through Sunday. You can deal with the ads from this. The precipitation continues to move in from the southwest, and some form of frozen precipitation could be falling from the sky. Like I said, this definitely needs to be monitored. Temperatures are very, very marginal, 31, 32, and for ice accretion, that's not ideal. You want, for ice to accumulate, you want your temperatures in the upper 20s. Sleet, though, if that 950 millibar area, which is about 3,000 or 4,000 feet in the air, if that's still frozen, those snowflakes that melt will refreeze into sleet pellets, and they'll fall as sleet. So, like I said, a really difficult forecast. You can see even some snow showing up down here. Excuse me. I have awful cold. So, but you can see this even some snowfall down around Cashers and Highlands, Lake Toxaway. They could see 3 to 4 inches of snow with this. It's really hard to even throw around totals with this. Some models are showing 6+ inches with Boone and around 3,500 feet. But it's really just a matter of how far south that cold air gets and that wedge pushes in. So thank you guys for joining me on this live YouTube update. We got 4 of you guys right now. Tune over to Facebook. We're going to do a live Facebook update as well and let everybody know that the ice is coming in. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate your support and you joining me in the app. Hope you also, we got a new webcam up. I'll show you real quick. I don't know if you guys saw this, but new Olivet webcam, the awesome neighborhood in Alexander right along the French Broad. Here's a time lapse of it today. I got it up today, and we're going to be building out a neighborhood along here, but a beautiful area along the French Broad River. We've got a weather station here that I'll be getting online pretty shortly, and you can see the Appalachian Mountains in the background with that beautiful sunset. So, all right, thank you guys for joining me. Tune over to Facebook, and we'll do another live update there. Thanks. Bye.